as we are looking at fractions, one of the things people have said to me is when you are multiplying fractions, being really confused about what you're supposed to be doing and how you know to do it. And so we're going to talk about this fraction here. Really, when you're multiplying fractions, the saying has been top times the top over bottom times the bottom. And I agree with this, but I don't want you to actually multiply. I want you to keep these as factor pairs. Because keeping them as factor pairs makes the numbers smaller, and we make less mistakes when they have small numbers. Let's get this right. So what I'm going to do here is the 3 is going to stay because that's a prime number. The 4 I'm going to break up as 2 times 2. And then 8 I'm going to break up to 4 times 2. And 6 I'm going to break up to 3 times 2. Now, always going up or down, cancel what matches. And when we do that, and we look at this, it's really exciting because this 3 cancels with that 3. This 2 cancels with that 2. This 2 cancels with that 2. So all we have left on the bottom is 4, and there's nothing left on top. And that's a huge way to make a mistake if you don't forget to put a 1 when everything is all said and done. If you end up canceling something completely out, all that's left is 1. And that's why factor pairs are so amazing, because it helps us to determine what's left. So let's try this one. We've got an improper fraction happening here. So here's our setup. And in this situation here, top times the top, 5. And 12, well, because this guy here is 4, I'm going to use the factor pair of 4 times 3. Because it matches the 4 on bottom. And then because this one is 5, for 20, I'm going to use the 4 times 5 because it matches the 5 on top. And then I have so much that matches going up, going down. The 5s go away. The 4s go away. And all this time I have left is a 3. And all I have left this time is a 4. Now I can try and see if it factor pairs anymore, but this is 3 times 1. And 4 is only 2 times 2 and 4 times 1. And since 1 is the only thing that repeats, that means our answer is reduced. Factor pairs are such an amazing support as you're doing this. So go ahead and press pause and get all of these notes down, including the canceling, including what matches. You might even want to rewind it to the beginning so you can write as I go this time. Welcome back. Now, what if we have a fraction like this times a fraction like this? And you're like, come on, dude. Well, this guy means there are 4 wholes. 5/5, 5/5, 5/5, 5/5. And then we have a 3/5. And all of these get added together. Well, if I'm watching this, I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 20 plus 3 is 23. So now I have 23/5, and that makes really long, times 10/12. And 10, the factor pair for 10 is 5 times 2. For 12, I'm going to match that 2 and say 2 times 6. I know which factor pair to use based on what matches. That's my number 1 criteria. Because now it's happy canceling. This 5 goes away from this 5. This 2 gets rid of this 2. 23 is a prime number, so that's as low as it can go. And 6 is 3 and 2, but 23 is prime, so neither one of those work. Now, in algebra, I'm going to encourage you to keep this as an improper fraction, unless you are dealing with weight, distance, or money. So if I'm going to worry about this, I'm going to pull out 6, 6, and that's not close to 23. I'm going to pull out another 6, 6, and that gets me up to 12, closer to 23. I'm going to pull out another 6, 6, and together these guys equal 18. Really close to 23. So if I count from 18 to 23, I'm going to get 5 more. So that means that I have 3 wholes, because I pulled out 1, 2, 3, with 5 left over and 6. Both of these answers might be on your multiple choice. What research has shown us is if people go here and the answer choices are not mixed numbers, they try to go backwards instead of just going back to the answer that they already had. If they had just gone back to the answer they had, it would be fine. But they don't. So I want to help you guys to pay super attention to that. I want you to look at multiple choice answers before you do anything and see what format do they have your number in, as a decimal, as a fraction, as a mixed number, and go from there. Let's do another mixed number since we're having so much fun today. All right, we have mixed numbers galore here. And there is a shortcut for figuring out mixed numbers to improper fractions. 2 wholes means it's 8/4. And then 8 plus 3 is 11/4. 1 whole is 3/3. And 3 plus 1 is 4/3. Now, if you ended up writing your answer like this, the really cool part is you can just make the fraction and put the factor pairs on the bottom, and we don't even have to use any factor pairs this time. Because looky, this 4 and this 4 go away. So on top, all I have is 11. On bottom, all I have is 3. Because the 11's bigger, it's an improper fraction. That means there's whole numbers hiding in there. But the first thing I'm going to do is look and see what form my answer's in. If I'm just using it in an equation, I'm going to keep it. If it's a final answer and I'm measuring something like weight, distance, or money, remember we had those up here? Weight, distance, or money. I'm going to make sure that I don't know what's going on yet. So if I'm doing this, I know 3/3 is 1 whole, plus another 3/3 is 2 wholes, now I'm at 6, plus another 3/3 is 3 wholes, now I'm at 9. And then 9 plus 2 gets me to 11. Remember, this is 2/3. So it means I have 3 and 2/3, and we learned last week that 2/3 is the same as 667, or 367 as a decimal. They are expecting you to know, just based on sight, that all of these numbers are just versions of the same number. That they're equal, that they're all correct, that they are all possible. The only thing that's ever going to change, like if you had 2/3 times 4, you're like, what am I doing here? Well, you're going to turn any number into a fraction by putting it over 1. And then we're going to do multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. And now we have 8/3. And again, you're going to leave it, if you're in the middle of an equation, as 8/3. If you are